Okay, so my name is Gao. I'm from China. Right now I'm based in Shanghai. First of all, I want to say a big thanks to my friend Kimiko for inviting me here. Actually, I was planning to visit Vietnam last year or this year, but unfortunately because of the pandemic, I couldn't make it. So I'm super happy to speak here and to share some of my views about the innovation in China. By the way, I just heard from Kimiko the last session. I heard lots of innovation in Vietnam and also happening in the tech space, and super excited. So I think same here in China, we have many things, all the innovation in almost every corner of every sector of industry here. So I think it's really have like 10 minutes. So probably I can just share a little bit what excited me in past 1 or 2 years. So just a quick introduction of myself. I'm being my background is I did my PhD in computer science, so I'm really geek inside me. But in past almost like 10 years, I started my personal blog with Techno. But now Techno is more like a media platform in China. So I got lots of opportunity to talk to many kind of high, the KOL in the industry in China in the global market. Like the CEO, the founder of Tencent, and the founder of Alibaba Cloud. So through them, I learned lots of like innovation. It's a long journey to me, to build the Techno from the personal blog to to a media platform. So right now we are doing kind of many things. We have media, we run events, of course, and we also do corporate innovation service. We are serving in corporates in China, also outside China, like BMW, Unilever, CP Group, all over the world. I think the most important move for our sector last year is we started our what we call Tech Global, which right now is based in Singapore. It's more like a subsidiary of Techno, but we focus instead of on China, we also focus on Pan-Asia, especially Southeast Asia. And so that's why through Tech Global, we had many chance opportunities to talk to local ecosystems across Asia, across Southeast Asia as well. So it's for innovation in China, it's really booming in China. Although many things happened we like 5 years ago we said when we talk about China, the innovation in China, we always use the word copy to China model. I'm sure you are familiar with. So basically we copy almost everything from Silicon Valley to China. But what happened in the past 5 years, I think is another way around. Instead of saying copy to China, I think there are more and more people copy from China, even copy from China to Silicon Valley. So here is just to touch a little bit on the hardware side. Everybody know the Apple Watch, but in China you probably know Xiaomi, and probably you know this company as well, it's called Huami. It's a company invested early by Xiaomi as well. It went to IPO I think 3-4 years ago. But basically, this is number one, number two in the smart wearing devices in China. And also, if you look at this, probably you can recognize it's Huawei. But it's like an ecosystem. But Huawei is not about the phone. If you look at the small picture on the right top corner, you see the strategy Huawei playing in the market is not just about phone. Actually, it's in the phone, a circle around the IoT. So if you look at the Huawei products, you are not only looking at phone, you are looking at smartwatch, you are looking at the earphone, you look at the PC, you are looking at the screen, the tablet, and even speaker, and even glasses, and smart glasses. So you can see the Huawei is building kind of IoT ecosystem around phone in the hardware side. And of course, And I'm not quite sure if you have bike sharing and this type of kind of service in Vietnam, but in China, I think it all started from China. Only for bike sharing, it's amazing. It's like this, like 3 years ago. But now, of course, the markets can come down because there's too many competitors, and we waste lots of money and also waste lots of resources, and to kind of build up this type of business from the ground, from zero. And but still, like, I think bike sharing is quite interesting model, and even it's controversial. And I heard the chemical talking about like the EV industry in Vietnam, but here in China it's not about Tesla. Right? Tesla is selling or have a great sale in China. But if you look at the landscape in China, there are three top guys, manufacturers, EV manufacturers in China, and I think they're all startups. They are all like 4 or 5 years old, but they all went to IPO this year and not or last year. So, and the Xiaopeng and Li auto car and Neo auto cars. So that's our top three EV car manufacturing in China. Actually, there are many more. It's more like we have a tier one. So these three represent the tier one of the EV company, but we have tier two and even tier three EV companies. But plus, we have even have Baidu and this new internet giant in China, but they're not working on the car, but they're working on the like auto driving ecosystem, the auto driving technologies, and they're working with all the traditional or new car manufacturing. And talking about transportations, you are probably familiar with this type of kind of transportation tools. And you probably heard the company called Segway, actually from Silicon Valley, if I'm right. But and what I think probably you don't know is what happened in past probably 4 or 5 years ago, or even more. Like Segway is acquired by a Chinese company called Lineboard. And so Lineboard and went to IPO, I believe early this year. So this is from China. And you probably heard of SpaceX, and for this type of commercial kind of rocket. But in China, actually, you can find probably 4 or 5 kind of startups working on this field. And this is just one example. This company called Lens Space. Actually, they launched their own kind of commercial rocket, and they're still testing more. And talking about phone, everyone know, of course, iPhone is the lead in the global market. But if you look at some sector or some specifications of the phone business right now, this is not new phone from Xiaomi. But this is maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and Xiaomi released that. It's probably the first full screen phone in the market, but it's not. If you look at the iPhone, it's still not really full screen. But Xiaomi did that 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, and these two companies are probably familiar with as well, and Oppo, Vivo. I think I have to say maybe 5 years ago or 4 years ago, if you look at these two companies, people think it's just copycats, copy of Samsung, copy of iPhones. But if you look at if you are look at what they are at now, there are lots of emulations on their mobile phone, and I think the technology behind the phone is superb, and also some specifications. I think that even is more advanced than the iPhone. And these are two. I think the left one, it's kind of. I think the photo from last year. It's called blockchain phone. It's by HTC, and I don't know what stage now, but it's a phone, kind of with the blockchain technologies. And the right hand side, and this is a flexible screen phone. You probably know Huawei has that, and Samsung has that. But this phone is done by our startup based in Shenzhen. Actually, it's the first one, and the first flexible phone on the market, even before Samsung and Huawei. So it's done by, I think, 5 or 6 years old startups based in Shenzhen. And this one is also from Shenzhen, and probably you know that. I have said that OnePlus is a high-end Android phone. I think the number one in India, number one in some European country as well. I think they're doing well in Southeast Asia as well. But this one is a very special case, because if you look at the top three, or if the top three phone manufacturer in China is always like Huawei or Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, and iPhone and Apple. But I think OnePlus is not like the top five in China. But outside China, they done great job. Very good phone. And this one, I think, is also number one in the market. They even beat what's it called? The sports the panel 360-degree cameras. Or GoPro. I think they beat GoPro in sales. It's also Shenzhen-based startups. It's called Insta360. So if you look at all these hardware kind of companies, the big ones, small ones, they are all doing great job, not just in China, also in the global market. And this talk about drone as well. I think this one, everybody know DJI, and based in Shenzhen, and also we have several other drone and company as well in China, like the one on the left top bottom corner called Yihang. They are working on their own drone, but which can accommodate one person. And the right one is called hover camera. It's really tiny drones, but you can fly indoor. And also with camera, they have they have the face recognition technology. I think the girls really like it, because for girls they like to take selfie. So basically you can buy that, then you can fly indoor, then it can follow you wherever you go, and take selfies is more convenient in some way than your phone. And this one is also quite interesting. It's a drone, started in drone business. But it's the company called XAG. But they're working. But the drone is really focused on the agriculture business, and also agriculture and technologies. So you can use the drone, to do the crop spraying and to monitor the farms. And also they are building our smart agriculture technologies around the drone. And so lastly, I want to say, we talk about lots of high advanced technologies, for the innovation. But innovation could be simple as well. You will look at the hardware side. But if you look at this, it's like, it's probably you are familiar with that already. But it's a very traditional, very standard, power extension. But when this one comes to the market, it's so handy, because it comes with 3 USB ports. And with that, you don't need to bring your cable anymore. And you don't need to carry the adapter anymore, but basically just plug in the cables. It's quite handy, and also it's cheap as well. So it's not really like a high-tech stuff, but still it's innovation and make your life easier. And talking about innovation, I think in China, the many Chinese companies that are really good at is to monetize or commercialize innovations. And I think that even done a better job than the company from States. I think this is a photo I took a while back. Is a startup presentation. And this one you can see is working on the parking service. But what you can see is almost like 10 years or 20 or 13 years ago, when you park your car, you need like the physical car, the plastic car, and to pay. But right now, if you are in China, you don't need a car anymore. Basically, you can scan the code, you can pay with Alipay or WeChat payment. But what's the future for the car parking business? It's not just about the parking, but also it's more like a scenario. It's like when you drive your car into the shopping mall, on your screen, the car screen, you can see the only special discount in the market in that shopping mall, and also it can tell you where to buy the stuff. And everything is even the car parking business will be kind of powered by the AI. And also we talk about the phone, the hardware, and this is called power bank sharing. So you can share the power bank anywhere. So it's easier. You don't need to worry about the run battery anymore. So lastly, so it's my doctor. Sorry, so the lastly is my first time to present this. So we don't CES in Las Vegas, but what we are working on now is we want to build something, a new platform next year we call Beyond. So it's more like CES, but we want to focus on the global market, of course, but we want to bring all the technology, all the innovation together from the Asia, all together and bring them to Macau. So I think we're going to, why for Beyond, we want to focus on beyond tradition. So basically, we're not just looking at the products, we're looking at how technology changes the business. We're not just looking at the technology itself, we want to focus on how the technology changes the people's life, the sustainability and the social impact. And more important is we want to kind of tear down the boundary of the Asian innovations. We want to bring all the Asian innovation all together. And so probably every year you can go to Las Vegas for CES, but hopefully every year you can come to Macau for Beyond as well. So we want to bring impact tech, healthcare, smart mobility, smart city, entertainment, and also future tech together. So that's all from me today. So here's my Twitter handle, and also you can have my WeChat if you use WeChat as well. And feel free to drop me emails. I'm looking forward to meet you in person in the future. Thank you.